Hello everyone. Today I will read to you chapter 13, the last chapter in my book of The Secret to Success. The power of courage and how leaders take risk. Every success story has its own requirement for taking risk and having the courage to take risk. The great achievers and leaders all realize this fact. If you do not have enough courage to take any risk, you will let your fears or worries block your success. There are no such achievement in life that won't require at least some risks. The bigger the achievement, the bigger the risk required. If you want to succeed, you have to accept this part of thinking. You must have courage to take actions, challenge, risk, and have to get in the adventure. When you have a dream or desire, the first thought that comes with your mind is fear. Fear always finds its way into your mind. Fear will stop you from taking action because you are afraid of failure. Fear will tell you not to take risk because it worries that you will fail. If you have a big dream but you allow your fear to conquer you, you will never get to go to the next step. You will never be able to try or achieve anything. This is when courage needs to step in. You need to use your courage to take some of the unknowns, take a chance, or expect some difficulty, just like when you climb a mountain. Even though you have to work very hard and the risk of falling is also high. If you have courage, persistence, and determination, you will get to the top and the reward is great. You can see the whole world under your feet. Your accomplishment will make you feel good and happy. Your fear has been defeated and your courage has won. Everything in life has some measurement of challenges. The more challenges, the greater rewards. Always do the first task first. We all have the habits of looking for easy things to do first and leave the more difficult tasks for later. We try to avoid doing things that require a lot more challenge and efforts and do all of the unimportant things first. Because of this habit, we go through our day without finishing the important work, for we are out of time at the end of the day. This is why people cannot be successful in their works. This is a short story that I want to tell you so you know how to pick your workload every day and how to do the most important tasks first. The story is a philosophy professor stood before his class with some items on the table in front of him. When the class began, wordlessly, he picked up a very large and empty mayonnaise jar, proceeded to fill with rock about 2 inches in diameter. Then he asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into a jar. He shook the jar lightly. The pebble, of course, rolled into the open areas between the rocks. Then he asked the student again if the jar was full. They agreed it was. The professor picked up a box of sand and poured into the jar. Of course, the sand filled up everything else. Then he asked once more if the jar was full. The students responded with the unanimous yes. Now, said the professor, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The rocks are the most important things: your family, your partner, your health, your children, things that are If everything else were lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. The sand is everything else, small stuff. If you put the sand into the jar first, he continued, there is no room for the pebbles and the rocks. The same goes for your life. If you spend all the time and energy on small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are important to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children. Take your partner out dancing. There will always be time to go to work, clean the house, give a dinner party, and fix the disposal. Now apply this habit into your life. Do the things that are most important first. You will find more happiness and success. Know who you are. Improve your talents. When you know who you are, what kind of talents you have, and what you do best, you will need to improve and sharpen up your skills. Do not look around and compare with someone else or feel envious with others. You do not have to be like anyone. Just be who you are and be happy with talents you have. This is the own legend that I want to tell you when I mention about this. Once upon a time in Japan, there was a poor stone cutter named Rufus, who used to go every day to the mountainside to cut great blocks of stone. He lived near the mountain in a little stone hut and worked hard and was happy. One day he took a lot of stone to the house of a rich man. There he saw so many beautiful things that when he went back to his mountain, he could think of nothing else. Then he began to wish that he too might sleep in a bed as soft as a down, with curtains of silk, tassels of gold, and he sighed, "Ah, me, it's me, if Hopeless only were rich as he is." To his surprise, the voice of the mountain spirit answered, "Have thou thy wish." Then, when Hopeless returned home that evening, his little hut was gone, and it's replaced with a great palace. It was filled with beautiful things, and best of all was the bed of down with curtains of silk and tassels of gold. Rufus decided to work no more. He was not used to being idle, and time passed slowly. Days seemed very long. One day he sat by the window and he saw the carriage dash past. He was drawn to a snow-white horse. In it sat a prince. Why therefore and a prince? Why before and behind were servants in suits of blue and white. Ones were holding a golden umbrella over the prince. When the stone cutter saw this, he began to feel unhappy, and he sighed, "Ah, me, if it's me, if Rufus only a prince might be." And again, the same voice that he had heard on the mountain answered, "Be thou your prince." Straightway, Rufus was a prince. He had servants dressed in crimson and gold, and he rode in the carriage with golden umbrella over his head. For a short time he was happy, but one day, as he walked in the garden, he saw the flowers were drooping. The grass was dry and brown. He felt the hot sun burn him in spite of his umbrella. "Oh, the sun is mightier than I am." Then he sighed, "Ah, me, if I could be a mighty sun." The voice answered, "Be thou the sun." Straightway the great sun he became. He burned the grass and the rice fields. He dried up the streams Rich and poor alike suffer from his terrible heat. One day a cloud came and rested in front of him and hit the earth from his sides. He was angry and cried, "Ah, me, if who first only a cloud might be." And the voice answered, "Be thou a cloud." Straightway a cloud he became. He floated before the face of the sun and hid the earth from it. Then, day after day, the clouds dropped rain. The rivers overflowed, and the rice fields were covered with water. Towns were swept away. Only the grey rocks on the mountainside stood unmoved amid the flood. The cloud looked at them in wonder. Then he sighed, "Ah, if Rufus can be a rock, might be." And the voice answered, "Be thou a rock." Straightway a rock he became. Proudly he stood. The sun could not burn him, the rain could not move him. Now at last he said, "No one is mightier than I." But one day he was awakened from his dreams by a noise tap, tap, tap down his feet. He looked, and there was a stone cutter driving his tune into the rock. Another blow, and great rocks shivered. A block of stone broke away. "That is the man who mightier than I," cried Rufus, and he sighed, "Ah, if Rufus can be that man." The voice answered, "Be thou thyself." And straightway Rufus was himself again, a poor stone cutter, working all day upon the mountainside, and going home at night to his little hut. But he was content and happy, and never again he did wish to be other than Rufus the stone cutter. Rufus the stone cutter is the legend about a poor man named Rufus who wished to be other people and later things in nature that he sees as more powerful as him. Eventually, after the chain of events, he ultimately realized that he lives a great life. It teaches many morals that can be applied to today's world. And some of these morals are as follows. Do not try to be anything but yourself. You can't do everything at the same time. You can't be better than everyone else. This is what you need to accept. Be who you are and live with your own talents. Always do the difficult tasks first. Don't try to compare yourself with others. Improve and sharpen up your talents. And this is what you need to believe. You are very unique with talents you have been given at birth. You have a right to know who you are and also need to live to your full potential. Life is not problems needed to be resolved, but a gift to enjoy. Only you can live your life and improve it. Persistence, patience, and never give up. Have you ever seen the birds building their nests on the tree? Every day they bring one straw to put it together into the warm and cozy nest to get ready for the birth of the babies. Sometimes, when it has been complete, the big storm came and blew it away, or the predator came to destroy it. The birds continue building another one without any fuss. They are still singing and starting all over. They don't blame anything or complain. They keep singing and building another one. If you can be patient like birds, we would live our lives without worries or and enjoy nature more, and we'll be happier. Inside of us, we each have our own song. This song needs to be sung from the heart. Don't die with the song still inside of you. Sing your song and live happily with it. Always live with the happiest and live your life to the fullest. Even though you might face some challenges, or temporary defeats. Use all of the persistence and patience to overcome the defeats. Never give up. This story is about the greatest violinist named Isaac Perlman. On the 18th of November 1995, there was a big concert at Avery Fisher Hall, Lincoln Center, New York. The performer is the greatest violinist, Isaac Perlman. At the beginning of the concert, he took passion with his violin and started playing. This sudden incident happens to him during his play. One of the strings broke off from the violin. The audiences were anxiously waiting for the reaction. The producer signaled him to stop playing to help him with a solution. Mr. Perlman was still playing with his violin, which only had 3 strings left. The song kept on, and Perlman showed no sign of panic. He continued playing until the song is finished. It took a lot of surprises and excitement from the audiences. Everyone applauded, while Perlman wipes his sweat and slowly say, "Sometimes in our lives as performers, our jobs are to use all of the talents we have to entertain the audiences. I have tried with all my heart to finish the song even though the violin have only 3 strings. I hope I did not disappoint anyone here." Playing violin with only 3 strings is similar to our real lives when we face challenges and defeats. We still have to keep on going instead of giving up in the middle. We need to play our song regardless of what circumstances you might have. The song has to be played until the end. The difference between success and failure is patience, persistence, and determined will of never giving up. Don't let any difficulties or obstacle block on your talents and your willpower. Don't give up with the song inside of you, but sing it out with your heart and sing with joy. Live a meaningful life. Remember, you are the only person who can live your life. You're the only person who can bring happiness to you. Let's live a meaningful life. Every day you take an opportunity to hear your heartbeat and to listen to your lungs breathe. You are the only person who can care for your health and your body. No one can live for someone else's life. You need to make your life meaningful. Everything you do, you should do it with joy and happiness. Be content and thankful for everything you have. Don't waste a day mooning about the past or complaining about the present. Don't waste another minute of your life hating or being mad at someone. Don't waste any more time to worry about the future. Be happy for today and today only. Live your life with a purpose. Everything you have should have its own value to you. Every minute should have a minute of happiness. You are writing your own book, and starting on each page, you write a love poem, a happy moment. Don't write your misery or hatred. You see, the life of a human is very short. Even if some people can live long, the maximum age is still about 100 years. In your entire life, people come and go. Each leaves some footprints in your life. Sometimes life is up and down. In the end, no one can bring anything with him. The only difference is what you have left behind when you say goodbye to this world. Ask yourself this question: did you make the world a better place than before? Did you leave anything for the next generation to remember you? What can children benefit from you, or what you have left to them from your own talents? In your daily life, ask yourself if you can help anyone with anything. Did you ever lift someone's burden to help those who have in despair? When did you guide a young person to find a right way while he's lost in life? Have you set good example for your kids? Everything that I have written in this book is my intention to remind you to live your life fulfilled, happy, and joyful, to remind you to find the meaning of your life, a purpose for it, and the principles to live by. Live your life remarkably that many people think greatly of you when you are finally gone. Just as the great men who are already gone, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison, Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie, and many more, all of these great achievers have gone from this world, but their names are everlasting. Their accomplishments have benefited many people generation after generation. I hope you live your life full of meaning. Utilize all of your talents to contribute to humanity. Leave large footprint and a good memories for young generation. If someone might have done something wrong to you, forgive him and think only if the good things that he has or she has done. Remember only good memories. Dismiss all of your worries and sadness and live happily and healthy. Enjoy your journey and sing your song out. Live with your soul and understand and appreciate the universe for the gifts that you were given.
Thank you for
I
watching, and I hope you
sincerely
like my
wish you
video. Please
success,
subscribe, give it
happiness,
a
and
thumb up,
hope you
like to
understand
support my
the true
channel.
meaning
Thank you
of
so
this
much.